Hi, FA Nation. I'm Brandon Marianne Lee. I'm here with the Howard Bender. You can follow him on Twitter at RotoBuzzGuy. Typically, he answers all of your questions, but he's being a good little boy, and he's going to answer your questions here instead because, baby little birds, we love you, but this is hard to do and multitask, right, Mr. Howard?
It is very hard to do and multitask at the same time. I sent that tweet out like late night every night, and I always try to retweet it also, just to be like, I'm sorry, I'm just not going to be available for your questions unless you come to the live stream. So come to the live stream. You also have the chat at fantasyalarm.com. Go to fantasyalarm.com/chat, and you get your questions answered there as well. I think it's like Rick Wolf and Dom Murtha and Babyface Grande's over there also. So
Babyface, we love
check
him.
it out.
Go check it out, people. But we're so excited to have you here. Every Sunday, we're here from 11 to 12. Also on Thursdays from 7 to 8. Howard's here like all the time. I mean, you can pretty much just like tune into YouTube and Howard's face will be here, but not mine. Mine's only on Thursdays and Sundays. And now we got all this baseball action going on. Basketball is in like full force as we speak. Hockey is in full force as we speak. And fantasyalarm.com, you can go get all of that coverage. We just kill it on the daily, like literally on the daily. You get daily things.
You really do. Listen, the NBA,
literally.
the NBA, if you play NBA DFS and you're not tuning in to Grande and Mpemba doing the live stream, I mean, you're making a huge mistake. They do that, and then they answer questions in the chat over at Fantasy Alarm also. So, I mean, it's like it keeps you covered, well covered. And then the Wager Alarm chat, I'm sorry, I don't mean to brag, but me and Mish, we're absolutely killing it on the picks, both college and NFL. So just saying, live streams, it's where it's at.
I love it. Okay, so today it is week 10. The season is flying by.
Right?
You probably had your trade deadlines yesterday in a lot of your leagues, so we're probably not going to get as many trade questions here, but we are going to get a lot of, obviously, play questions. Also, I think it's really important to discuss two things. One, you have to get into your playoffs, so you have to win this week. If you are in a bye week situation, which is likely because there's 4 teams on byes and there are a lot of issues here, and those are big 4 teams too, right? Okay, so we got the Ravens, the Broncos, the Texans, and the Vikings. A lot of wide receivers are not available to you this week, so we got to make sure that you got what you needed. You need to win now. So that's our number one thing. We might tell you to do something crazy because you need to win now. 2, you may be down big time after that Thursday night football game. And we actually discussed this on Thursday where we said we actually like Thursday night football games for fantasy this year. And it proved again to be just a plethora of fantasy points. So we might be saying to you, and by the way, if you're asking questions right now, tell us if you're down big, up big, whatever, or maybe it's just neutral still. I'm in a lot of leagues where like really it was kind of neutral because neither of us had those things. That's a great place to be too. But let us know because that's going to color our answers here. Because there are a lot of matchups this week that are very heavy on one side, but there could be a lot of potential on the other side for a breakout game. So do let us know. We may give you a different answer, which means that just because you hear an answer that may not actually pertain to you if you are not in the same circumstance. Right, Howard?
Absolutely. Listen, if you played against Big Ben, you're in trouble. You got to swing for the fences. Like all of a sudden, it's like, do I use this stable wide receiver who, sees 5-6 targets every single week, or do I take the shot on the guy who sees 3 targets a week, but he's got bigger, big play upside there. So I feel like we're going to say a lot of yeses to Traquan Smith. For some reason today, that's gonna be a big yes for a lot of people. Yeah, I think him and Marquez Valdez-Scantling are the 2 secondary receivers in their respective games. They both have really nice matchups, and they both have really high upside. So I'm liking them both.
Yeah. Well, let's get started here. I'm going to start on YouTube. Right now, you guys, we are live on YouTube, Facebook Live, on Periscope. We are on fantasyalarm.com as always. I'm actually going to share it here on Facebook because I haven't done that yet. And everybody needs to see the goodies. Okay. Tune in now for week 10. And you guys all can do that too. You can all share it so that other people can get in on it. Just don't let the people in your league know. I mean, that's really all you need to do. It's gonna be fine. All right, so stay competitive in there.
There's nothing I love more than when multiple people who follow me on Twitter, when they're in the same league, and then they catch their buddy, like asking me a question, and immediately, like I've seen tweets like, "Well, you better use this guy because you got to swing for the fences," as Bender says, and I'm like, There it is.
There it is. There it is. So, yeah. So, you guys, we got a ton of stuff going on here. We got on Periscope. Good morning, beard looking great, Whisperer. Trusting
Thank you.
Sony Michelle today. I love that.
Ooh.
That was the transition, though. It was like I'm going to compliment you and then ask you about Sony Michelle.
That's what it's always that. It's like, oh yeah, I voted for you in the Kreml Company beard thing. And I'm like, oh great, thanks. They're like, now let me ask you a question here.
Yeah.
Sony Michelle, so all right, here's just my take on Sony Michelle. If he's healthy enough to play today, then they're gonna utilize him. He saw good carries when he was playing for them. Um, but I mean, it obviously depends on who you're using. Like, I mean, I've had people ask me Tevin Coleman or Sony Michelle. And I'm like, that's a no-brainer to me. That's got to be Tevin Coleman there. I don't even care if Ito Smith poaches stuff, So I mean, I'm okay with using Michelle.
Yeah.
If he's like your only alternative, like if he's the guy that you have because you don't want to trust using Mike Davis because you don't know if Chris Carson's going to play or not, like that whole thing.
Yeah, no, I agree. If you're in season long and you're behind, I actually think Sony Michelle might be one of those dart throws you want to make for sure. Because to me, he could have 2 rushing touchdowns, and that would not surprise me whatsoever in this particular game. They're going up against the Titans. The Titans are tougher against the run than they are against the pass. We do expect Josh Gordon to kill it against Malcolm Butler because Bill Belichick just wants to drive home that it's fine that he sat him and lost a Super Bowl. Fine. And Malcolm Butler struggled this year, big time. This has been a tough year for him. He's never been right since then either. It's just kind of sad. The whole situation's sad. But I still think they're going to get close and then punch it in a bunch of times too. Because we also know Josh Gordon has a tendency to get tackled at the 2-yard line. So we want to make
sure. Don't put that out there. You don't put that on me, Brandon. You don't put that out, man.
Yeah, you know me. I have to do it. So, yeah, I agree with you. I think that's when Sony Michelle jumps in there. So Rivers or Brady? Rivers going up against the Oakland Raiders, obviously cushy matchup. Brady going up against the Titans, not a cushy matchup, but maybe keeps it more competitive. Thoughts?
I mean, I've got them ranked so closely together. I kind of feel like I would rather use Brady because I know that he's got his options. I mean, I know Brandon just scared you with Sony Michelle punching in multiple touchdowns at the one. But, I mean, you can also look at it here with the Chargers and what's the game flow there. I expect them to beat the snot out of the Raiders here. I really do. So, could that be more Austin Eckler and more Melvin Gordon than it really is Rivers slinging the rock? So I would probably say I'm go with the safety of Brady and hope that, Josh Gordon burns Butler a couple of times, that Edelman is ready to go. Maybe we've got a Gronk sighting. I don't know. Maybe.
Well, is Gronk going to play? It looks like he's not likely to play, right? Or did they change it?
Is he not likely to play again?
I mean, I thought that was the case. We're going to check that right now.
Traveled with the team.
Out week 10 versus the Titans. It's already official.
What a turd.
Yeah.
What a turd.
So, but I'll say this. Tom Brady has stunk for fantasy purposes over the last 2 weeks, but one of those weeks he went over 300 yards, just didn't score a touchdown. That's weird. Now, that would be the situation I'm talking about with Sony Michelle here, punching it in at the 1. But I think that's fluky. It doesn't usually happen 2 times in 3 weeks. That would be a little crazy. But I do think he could go over 300 yards.
Do you go Brady over Rivers? What's your take on it?
Yeah, I think I go Brady over Rivers for safety. Listen, also, I want to be clear here. You guys paid up for Brady. I didn't. I don't have Tom Brady anywhere because I refused to pay up for quarterbacks. So I have Rivers a lot of places. I'm playing him, and I have no problem with that. So I don't have like an argument against Rivers. But to me, if you spent that kind of draft capital and you're not going to start him against the Titans when he has to win and he wants to kill Malcolm Butler, I don't know when you start him. So I don't get it. Bills, Niners, Falcons defense. Would you drop Kuti or McGuire for them? First, I would drop Kuti over McGuire. Guys, he just came back. You don't even know what Elijah McGuire is capable of yet. And he was pretty good in his first game, so I would keep him. And then Bills, Niners, Falcons defense. Thoughts?
Well, first of all, if this is like the defense to stream in today, do you have a defense on bye? Because if you have a defense on bye, drop the stupid defense. Like,
that's true too. Yes.
Don't be stashing a second defense.
Unless you're Chicago, but Chicago's not on bye, so.
Right. So Bills, Niners, who? The Seahawks. I guess I would. Falcons? Yeah, I guess I would probably. I mean,
I think
I
Niners.
like the Falcons for potential turnovers, but they're going to give up. They're going to give up some points. They're not going to like shut them down completely um, in this one. I hate to say the Bills, but they do have a solid defense. It is Josh McCown. There is no Robbie Anderson. If they stuff the run, if they stuff Crowell, and they contain the ground game, and where's he going to pass it to? It's Jermaine Curse. That's an option for I don't know anybody.
Josh
Quincy
McCown
Nunn
scored a
was
lot of
so
fantasy
banged up.
points last week or last year. I mean, he was a good fantasy quarterback, and defenses did not score a lot of fantasy points on Josh McCown.
So which defense do you like then?
I like the Niners.
You think the Niners against the Giants?
Giants stink.
They
You want to talk about sacks and you want to talk about turnovers? Eli Manning in primetime against San Francisco in San Francisco sounds like a disaster to me.
Listen to what this lady's got to say.
That is just tragic.
Is this pointing towards you or is this pointing towards you? This?
I don't know. It's
This.
a little bit of a lag, so I can't tell, but I'm sure that it's nice.
This girl.
This
Listen
girl.
to this girl.
There she is. But listen, all three of them could possibly burn you because none of them are on good teams. The Bills are actually good defense, but their team is so bad. Their offense is so bad. They're always on the field. So what happens is they're great for 3 quarters, and then that last quarter, they're just exhausted. And then they give up a ton of points. So you'll see your score go up, and then all of a sudden the fourth quarter, it plummets. And it's not their fault. It just, it is what it is. How do you feel about Kuti, though, real quick?
That's the problem is that he's the number 3 guy on this offense. Yeah, that could have some decent games there, but as far as who the main 2 guys are, it's clear that not only does Demaryius Thomas and DeAndre Hopkins get the bulk of the targets there, but they really love this tight end. Was it Jordan Thomas?
Yeah, they really do.
Like him a lot right now, and I think that they could kind of pivot that way. So I'm not a huge fan of Kute. Great name.
Kiki. Do you love me? Okay, so I would say one of the bigger surprises I think of the year is that Houston didn't really use their tight end in the way that I thought that they would. So I think that that's starting to get remedied, especially after the bye week. I would look for them to use the tight end more.
The defense can't guard the tight end. The offense doesn't know the tight end exists. I think that's a coaching thing.
That is a coaching thing for sure. Full point PPR, Corey Davis or Christian Kirk? I say Kirk. That volume against Kansas City. And yeah, Kansas City's defense has gotten better, absolutely. But they're still going to have to throw all the time. I think both Larry and Kirk are really interesting streamers this week.
So you think Rosen is a better option than Mariota throwing to because Corey Davis sees that volume too. And Corey Davis sees pretty heavy volume, and it's going up against the Patriots, and they're going to have to throw.
Yeah, I think. Yeah,
I mean, I'll side with Kirk. I don't love either guy. Listen, I've always hated Corey Davis. To me, it's strictly a volume play. So if Kirk's going to see the same volume, yeah.
I'll tell you what I like. Byron Leftwich is doing a really good job, and I know we have a really small sample size, but I was impressed and enthused. I was like, this could be a lot better. Whereas I don't see what we're going to do here. And here's my problem with the Titans is that there may not be any other wide receivers on the field, period. Okay, and Taywan Taylor are both hurt. And not that we really care about that, but in terms of defense, at least they have to, the defense has to have like some sort of eye on them. Now they don't have to look at anyone but Corey Davis. Corey Davis is going to be double covered the whole game.
There you go. Christian Kirk it is. Although at least you've got Larry Fitzgerald pulling away some coverage there as well.
Yeah, that's my thought at least. But I mean, it is close, and it's a really good question. Non-PPR need a flex. Cohen or Fournette? Now,
I got to go Fournette. I'll say that. If he's going to play, practiced all week, if he's going to play, he's their lead running back. To me, that's, you kind of have to.
Guys, and also, I keep getting these questions about, like, is Tariq Cohen still, like, a guy? Can I still start him? And I'm like, yes, he had one bad game that was against the Bills, and the whole point of playing the Bills is to get out of that game without an injury. All you do is run the ball. That is how you do it. You don't play any quarterbacks against the Bills, and you don't play any pass catchers against the Bills. They are not needed. So, come on, guys. Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it. PPR, it'd be a little more of a conversation, but non-PPR, Fournette's the guy. Chris Carson, if he doesn't go today, would you play Mike Davis over Doug Baldwin in PPR? I would play Mike Davis over Doug Baldwin in a PPR regardless.
Me too. He just doesn't see the targets. I feel like there's something, more with his knee that's wrong that we're just not hearing about. I mean, what, 7 targets his last 2 games combined?
Well, but that's about how it is for all the wide receivers there. The thing is that Russell Wilson is so efficient. He barely passes the ball, but when he does, it's a touchdown, which is just the way that he goes. It's amazing. But they want to run, and they want to run against the Rams. Also, Mike Davis had more fantasy points than Chris Carson, even though Chris Carson went over 100 yards the last time they played the Rams. So even if Chris Carson does go, I think that they're going to use Mike Davis, and there's possibility they even get Rashad Penny involved a little bit. Don't play him, but I'm just saying that they like to use 2 running backs against the Rams. That's how they usually force.
Well, oh, listen, hey, Brandon Marion Lee said Rashad Penny's going to get some carries here. I better get him in.
Get him in.
Good flex play here.
Oh, guys, stop it.
Should I sit Marquez Valdez-Scantling?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. Definitely over MVS. Howard is always live. LOL. So true. Non-PPR, Landry or Kirk? I think you got a Landry.
Yeah, I feel like you have to use Landry here.
Because it could be a Fitzgerald game. Listen, the thing is they're going to draw coverage on both sides. They're both going to get a lot of targets, Kirk and Fitzgerald. But depending on who gets the certain looks, I think either of them could be more competitive. Landry is just definitely going to have to go against the Falcons. He's going to have to get so.
And you know what? And I'll excuse me. One of the things that I've also noted about Landry and the slow start that he's had is that he and Baker Mayfield have not gotten on the same page. Look at Landry's catch rate over the last 3 games. It has skyrocketed. Like all of a sudden, the timing patterns are working for the 2 of them, which helps me tilt towards Landry even more.
Which, by the way, means he's also a good football player. I know there's a lot of smack talk about how maybe Landry's not that good because he has records for how many catches he's had over the course of his career. But also, he makes adjustments.
Yeah,
he's actually learning. If you watch the games, it's very interesting to watch how he's working. He's very much a student of the game, which I know isn't something that people usually talk about, but it's true. And he's actually been able to do that in Cleveland, which I think is kind of cool.
Well, people are just down on him because he's got a big mouth. Like all of a sudden he's turning into Steve Smith all over again.
Yeah, but guess what? If you were down on Steve Smith, that was to your own detriment, and I feel that way about Landry. So.
Now, I don't know if you said it before, Brandon, but just so you know, I'm getting a report. Chris Carson, while he is a game-time decision, he is not expected to play. I don't know if you said that.
No, I did not. Well, I think I said he's not expected to play, but I don't think we gave it the more official not expected to play. But listen, he wasn't expected to play last week either. He did, and then the second half he had his leg wrapped. I wish they would just rest him for his sake, to be honest with you. And if you have Chris Carson, you want him rested too. And actually, if you have Gronk, you're really happy he's not playing because then the bye comes back. I think he rocks the rest of the season. I'm just gonna put that out there. So sometimes we don't want these hurt players to play, as hard as that is to say. 1 point PPR, Evan Engram or David Njoku. Evan Engram, huge disappointment. I don't think it's his fault. He was started hurt, and then Eli Manning is Eli Manning. But I think I go Njoku here.
I go Njoku as well. I know he was a little banged up, and they said that he's got the questionable tag. But again, here's another guy who sees a lot of volume. In a matchup that's strong, and we expect Cleveland to pass. So, yeah, I like Njoku here as well.
Yeah. Also,
not to mention Eli sucks.
Yeah. Wow. Doesn't he?
Who said that? Who said that?
I'll say this. No one is telling us whether or not you're way down, which makes me think that some of you are not, which is great. I actually don't think as many people started Ben Roethlisberger as we thought. I'm actually getting very few questions about I'm going up against Ben Roethlisberger and I'm scared. So I wonder if a lot of people have him on their bench and are crying tears right now. Calvin Ridley or Golden Tate PPR? I think you go Calvin Ridley because I have no idea what Golden Tate looks like as an Eagle. But that's me. I'm conservative. How about you?
Yeah, I don't know what he looks like as an Eagle either. I mean, it's a good matchup for him, especially knowing that Sean Lee's out of the middle and Golden Tate could very well be a good solid option here. But yeah, I don't know what to expect from him either. I don't really know what to expect from Calvin Ridley as well. You look at all the weaponry they've got in Atlanta going up against Cleveland, and Cleveland, it's the run defense that stinks the most. It's not so much the pass defense there. So, I mean, just because I don't know Golden Tate except for the fact that he's master of the 3-yard catch. but I just don't know how the Eagles are going to deploy him. So yeah, I would use Ridley and just hope for that upside, that big play potential.
Yeah, I think that definitely more upside there. I just know what he looks like. I know how they use him. I know that he has a chemistry with Matt Ryan. I don't need to worry about that. Alshon Jeffrey is Carson Wentz's guy. That isn't going to change here. Now, what could change is that they're going to have to defend Golden Tate, and so actually might help Alshon Jeffrey, in my opinion. So people that are freaking out about Alshon Jeffrey, I don't understand that at all. But they're saying that they are going to line up Golden Tate all over the place, and I hate that. Actually, I think why do that to a guy who's new to the team? I don't understand that logic. So anyway, that's my problem. But anyway, you can only play 2. Okay. And this is fine because there's only 3. Crowell, Gabriel, or Aaron Jones. Now, Aaron Jones is the auto start here.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the way to beat my... Yeah. I mean, obviously the only hang up with Jones is whether or not McCarthy's going to stop running the ball, which we've seen him do. We've seen him run heavy in the first 2 series, and then all of a sudden it disappears until the second half. But for those ways, it's Gabriel, Crowell, and Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so, go Crowell and Jones.
I would probably go Crowell as, also. I definitely do. Gabriel's been banged up. They got Allen Robinson back. He throws red zone targets over to Anthony Miller. Trey Burton steals that as well. So you're going to see Crowell see the ball a bunch today against Buffalo.
Yeah. Most of the teams that have played the Bills have been able to punch in at least 1 touchdown. There were the Titans and the Texans weren't able to, but that's because they're bad. But Howard Jones scored 2 touchdowns last week. You gotta feel good about that. So to me, that's why I like Crowell here. Cohen or Zeke? I go Zeke. But
yeah,
why are we asking this question? Is it because it's a bad matchup against the Eagles? I just want to clear. We don't care about matchups for the top dudes. And that's why I'm going to ask. Otherwise, I was going to skip over this question. But I just want to be clear. Top dudes don't care. I'm not going to let that determine.
Yeah, no, regardless of matchup. You're telling me that, Michael Thomas is facing Jalen Ramsey. I'm still using Michael Thomas. I'm wavering on T.Y. Hilton here because he's not a top option. But guys like Zeke, I don't care who the matchup is going against. Todd Gurley, I don't think it could be the number 1 run defense in the world, and I'll still start Todd Gurley.
He could be playing the 88 Bears, and I'd be like, you know what? I got Todd Gurley in all my cash lineups. Don't worry. I would also say this. Michael Thomas is one of those guys. Antonio Brown. They're wide receivers that are there too. I'm never going to sit them. DeAndre Hopkins is never going to be on my bench. Unless his leg is falling off. And even then, I would really question it.
I could see him hopping down on one leg.
He can do anything. So it would be really hard for me to do that. But my point is, there are guys that I'm just never, ever sitting. I'm never sitting Patrick Mahomes.
No.
I don't care. Never. I'm never sitting Travis Kelce, Zach Ertz. Guys, Zeke's one of those. Trays. I got Kelce and Breida. Buddy wants to give me James White and Devontae Adams and Calvin Ridley. For Kelce and Breida? I also have Ertz in my lineup. Yeah, move. No.
Absolutely. You also have Kelce and Ertz. Yeah, make that trade.
Yeah, bye-bye. Deshaun Jackson or Jordan Howard? I go Jordan Howard.
I go Jordan Howard as well.
Yeah, I think that his involvement is solid. Also, I think his involvement is going to get more solid as we get to winter. It's cold out there. Corey Davis, Doug Baldwin, and David Moore, 1 point PPR. By the way, it turned into winter here in New York, just for those of you. Yesterday I was walking around, I was like, ooh. Just putting that out there. So now we're getting into winter months. I love my running backs. So again, Corey Davis, Doug Baldwin, David Moore, 1 point PPR. I think you have to go Davis here. But to me, I think you have to plug in Baldwin, Moore, or Lockett somewhere in GPPs because one of them is going to score one touchdown at least, maybe all 3 of them, and one of them might score 2. That's how they do it, and they have to pass against the Rams. I know Mike Davis is a sexy pick, and I love him too. But when they get into the end zone, or towards the end zone, into the red zone, there we go, then I think they're going to have to pass.
Yeah, and I'm actually kind of leaning a little bit towards Moore. I know Lockett's caught a touchdown in all but 2 games this year. Still doesn't see the targets. Like that
No.
boggles my mind. Like
But he is the red zone favorite by far.
He's like 4 and 5 targets a game, and that's it. So, but I do like Moore a lot, and I do believe I have him in some GPP action.
Now, in this though, you would go with Corey Davis, right?
Yeah, probably. Again, just for the volume.
PPR.
Yeah, just for the volume.
But we do want to say that the other 2 options, for those of you that are listening, and this isn't your question, are great options. So, PPR, Nick Chubb or Jordan Howard. I go Nick Chubb here because there's a chance Jordan Howard gets outshined by Tariq Cohen, because it's always that chance. But I do like both plays. I wonder who your other person is that you're playing.
I always wonder that as well. But again,
we're gonna come back.
There are a lot of people who stockpile, who did a good job stockpiling running backs, and then ended up grabbing Nick Chubb off of waivers once that move happened. But yeah, I agree with you, Chubb over Howard in this instance.
All right, wide receiver issues: PPR, Kirk or Harris from Washington. That's not an issue. I actually like both of them. I could see you playing them over other people. I would probably go Kirk. I don't know. They're very close to me, though. But Kirk, we know, gets the volume. Harris is more like a dart throw. So if you're way down, I could see Harris, but
I mean, Harris has. I mean, it's a great matchup, and no Jamison Crowder makes it even better. Right. Well, because Harris will play out of the slot, though. With no Crowder, he'll play out of the slot instead of being on the outside,
which is great.
Which definitely, again, with Washington's offensive line issues, the obvious question is how much pass protection is Alex Smith going to get? Is it just going to be quick release, dump? Obviously he's always about the checkdowns anyway, which is why Capri Bibbs makes for an interesting dart. Adrian Peterson will probably, like you said before we even started here, you could see this being a day where Peterson sees more, as many targets almost as he sees carries.
Yeah.
So I like Harris in the matchup here as a dart throw. If you need that upside.
Yep, I agree with you. PPR, Barber or McGuire, and then Moncrief or Anthony Miller. We're going deep.
I'll go Anthony Miller over Dante Moncrief. Absolutely. Anytime I can get away from Blake Bortles throwing somebody the ball, I'm fine with that. The McGuire and who was it again?
Barber.
I kind of feel like you go Barber because he's the starting running back for Tampa Bay. And if for some reason Tampa Bay actually runs the ball a little bit more, like McGuire, he's the backup into Isaiah Crowell. And I think that this is the Jets aren't blowing out the Bills. So there's nobody running out the clock now. It's not the Jets being like, oh, wow, we got this one well in hand, so let's just throw Elijah McGuire in there for the second half and let him run the clock out. But yeah, so I'm pivoting. I'm pivoting towards Barber here. You want to go McGuire, don't you?
So here's my only problem. I wish Tampa Bay believed that running the ball was like part of football.
Yeah, I believe that too.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my only thing here. Is there's also a possibility they just don't even. He touches the ball like 4 times. I don't know. Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think you go with Barber for safety. I'll tell you what, though. If I was way behind, I think I might go McGuire and hope that they use him as a wide receiver, considering that Robbie Anderson's not going to play. Sam Darnold's not there, and we hope that Josh McCown just dumps it off to him over and over again. But you're right. Safety, it's Barber. They're both tragic. So it's a good question, though, because a lot of people are in that situation. But need 2, Boyd, Hilton, or Fournette. Hilton and Fournette, right?
Yeah. I mean, I love Tyler Boyd. And we talked about this before we started the stream. My biggest concern with Tyler Boyd, I mean, I put him into the playbook because – he is the number one option there. I just really fear that with New Orleans beefing up their secondary, adding Eli Apple, if Boyd, whether he's moved to the outside or he stays in the slot, I think he's going to see a lot of Marshawn Lattimore in coverage here. Plus, I think that they'll double cover him because they're not
Yeah.
going to double cover John Ross. Like Apple will probably stay
Why
with
would
John
you?
Ross for the majority of time there. I mean,
Yeah.
he's a one-trick pony. Like the question really is how Cincinnati going to utilize Boyd? And I think that the Saints know that he's the guy that they need to cover the most.
Yeah. I think it's just gonna be a huge Joe Mixon week. Now, you had a question about Giovanni Bernard earlier, and maybe he is a dart throw that you throw into GPPs. I don't know if I would like start him in my season long, but if you are playing DFS, I think that's interesting too because they need receivers and at least he can catch the ball. So, yeah, I'm very interested to see what they do. But Cincinnati's been really good at play calling this year.
Really good. Oh, yeah.
Awesome offense going this year. So I'm actually very excited to see what they do in terms of creativity this week. And so it's weird because I feel like I should be more nervous about the Bengals than I am, but I'm starting Andy Dalton different places. Dear God help me. But if I'm in a streaming quarterback situation, I'm kind of like, well, you know what? He's got to score points because they're playing the Saints. He's got to throw the ball. So we got to figure it out. What do you feel about the Jacksonville backfield? We're going all in on Fournette. I mean, this is a mutual decision that we both feel, just because he's supposed to be their guy. So there you go. Cheers. Cheers to you. MVS or Deshaun Jackson PPR?
I really like MVS this week. I do. I think that with Xavier Howard opposite Devontae Adams the majority of time, the big problem for Miami is the secondary coverage over there on the other side of the field. So I do think MVS is, and I don't know if Randall Cobb's playing. Have we got an official word yet? But if Randall Cobb is out, we're going to have MVS moving from the slot and, in and out of the slot and the outside. So.
Well, and here's something controversial but true. I don't even care. I don't care who's in. Because since week 4, MVS has been the first or second out of all of the wide receivers in terms of snaps. It doesn't matter who's out there who isn't. It's been MVS. So, okay, Marquez, I see you. That's all I'm saying. Landry with the good matchup or Cooper Kupp? Well, I don't ever sit Cooper Kupp. I've told you that emotionally. I just don't do it. But who is better than both Cooper Kupp and Landry that you can't get one of these guys in the flex or something else? I mean, come on. What's going on? 1 point PPR, Calvin Ridley or Deshaun Jackson? I have Fitzpatrick as my quarterback. I think if you need upside, then you do the stack.
Yeah. If you're playing behind, if you played against Juju or AB or Big Ben, McCaffrey, yeah, stack it up.
Yeah. I think I might go Deshaun regardless. Well, I don't know.
No, yeah, listen.
I think I like pairing up here because, like, if Fitzpatrick stinks it up, you're just going to lose regardless.
Yeah, true.
So you might as well just go all in. So I mean, you do you, but you've decided that Fitzpatrick's your quarterback. That's what life is like. Marquez Valdez Scantling or Mark Ingram standard flex. I still stick with my guy Marquez.
Absolutely, me too.
Guys, I've warned you about Mark Ingram. I will continue to do so. Full point PPR flex spot. Deshaun Jackson or Matt Breida. Jackson.
If you're down, I would say you play Jackson. I think Breida's healthy. He's going up against the Giants. Their run defense, once they traded off Snacks Harrison, their run defense has been pretty darn weak, and we already know that they favor Breida a lot more. I think Breida's got the higher floor here, but I think Deshaun Jackson's got the higher ceiling.
We're going to be doing inactives here in about 10 minutes, but there is news that's broken again that this is the second week in a row that Kevin White is a healthy scratch. Talk about first round disasters. Okay, moving on. We got I'm ignoring my beautiful YouTube people again. I am so sorry. I am back to you, my friends. So here we go. Bam, bam, bam. Okay. Might sound crazy, but T.Y. Hilton or Christian Kirk PPR? I think I go Hilton.
I go Hilton here, yeah.
But Kirk is not a bad option, so you're not crazy. DraftKings flex. Duke Johnson, Mark Ingram, Jordan Howard, Deshaun Jackson, or Tyler Lockett. I think I go Jordan Howard here.
Yeah, I'd probably go Jordan Howard also. He seems to be the only guy who's like really kind of guaranteed touches.
Yeah, if you're GPPing it, maybe Deshaun Jackson versus his former team.
Well, yeah, that's right. It is D-Jax against the against his former team. That's always and he loves that narrative too.
He
He
does.
really does. He did
Yeah,
it against
I don't use
Philly.
that narrative for everybody, but Deshaun Jackson is really all about spite.
Yeah,
God love him, but he loves spite.
he does love spite. He
Yeah.
definitely loves spite. I think that's the way to go. Spite
Yeah.
it up.
Yeah, because he also has spite against Tampa Bay because they're not using him. So it's a lot of spite for him right now. Tom Brady or Andrew Luck? I go Brady. Andrew Luck's facing the Jags.
Yeah, I do too. I go Tom Brady.
Yeah. Tevin Coleman or Nick Chubb, PPR?
Ooh, I actually like Tevin Coleman in this one here. Listen, I think they're both in danger of getting carries and touches poached by their significant others, Ito Smith or Duke Johnson. But I mean, listen, Cleveland's run defense has been horrific. They've allowed 14 rushing touchdowns on the season. That's the most of any team in the league.
Yeah.
And they've also given up the most rushing yardage as well. So
That's called
I
being.
love Tevin Coleman today.
I do too. I love Tevin Coleman. I also say this: he has a little more PPR floor than Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb will never have a PPR floor. It's
No,
just not
probably
his
not.
game. He's the Adrian Peterson of our time. Okay, Fitzmagic or Baker Mayfield? I think if you need upside, it's got to be Fitzmagic. Baker Mayfield is
Yeah.
going to be the future. I really like Mayfield, but I mean, in terms of like been able to do so far this year, there's just not as much upside with him. Only one game with 20 fantasy points. Everything else has been between 14 and 18. Now, 14 is his floor after week 3 when he came in. So that's, not terrible for a rookie. I think he's great, but let's just be honest. You need upside. In the middle of a slim chance for the playoffs. Well, we're here for you, my friend. Good morning. Hope you're both well. This is from New York Jet Girl. What up? Sad question. Drake or Ito? I don't think this is sad. I stick with Drake.
Yep, I stick with Drake as well.
I think they finally were like, oh, we've been trying so hard to not use Kenny and Drake, but I guess if we want to win football games, we should.
Packers run D surprisingly bad, actually.
Yeah, so I feel fine with it. Don't worry about him. Thanks, guys. You're welcome, Austin. Jordan Reed or Matt Breida as a flex in a 12-team PPR. Decent start with Connor, so they are up a little bit there. Still have Gurley as my other running back, Sony Michel and Elijah McGuire as a stash since I foolishly dropped Ito Smith. Good luck and thanks, Howard and Marianne. So hold on. Okay, okay. So you have Connor, Gurley, Michelle, and then you need to flex Breida or Reed. You also have McGuire.
I think if you want to swing for the fences, then you try out Jordan Reed just because of the short passing game, just because of the fact that Tampa Bay gives up so many points to the tight end position.
Yeah.
I know you've got a little lead with Connor, but you also have Gurley. So I mean, it's like you take the chance here and just swing for some fences with Jordan Reed, or do you take the potential higher floor with a guy like Breida? I'm on the fence there, Brandon, but I personally, I would probably swing for the fences if I'm like on the bubble for my playoffs.
Yeah.
Like if
but
it's one of those
you don't have to if you had started Connor and you have Gurley. That's why I'd go Breida.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
If I was struggling, I needed to make playoffs. Yeah. But I think in this case, I might just take the points.
Viable. Absolutely.
If Jordan Reed sucks again, you're going to be really upset. And he's been hurt. I mean, so finally he's hurt again, which I was surprised he was healthy this entire time. Although he did exit the injury report, so it's not the end of the world. But, I don't like anything that's back related for a tight end. That always ends up being a little weird. But yeah. Someone called me out for pinky up when drinking my water. It is true.
You're so sophisticated, Brandon.
Thanks for the call out. Good morning. Is it Sunday already? It is, Jerry. It is Sunday. It's here. Le'Veon Bell or Des Bryant? Oh, rough.
Who asked that?
Endo Bruce.
Oh, I know. All right, Endo Bruce. Okay.
All right. I see you. You're snarky today. I got the Jets defense today, Howard. Is this the week? LOL. I can't drop the Texans defense. Too many sacks, even with the perpetual shootouts with whomever they play against. I hear you. I still don't love doing that. Guys, Jets defense rest of season actually has a great schedule. I actually like Jets rest of season. People were asking questions about, who you should stash from defense. The Jets are one of them. Chicago Bears is the best end of season schedule, and they're the best defense. So that's it. Also, the Colts are a big one with a good rest of season schedule. Same with Washington. But the Jets are up there. So I would definitely look into them. They have the Bills in both week 10 and 14, and then Tennessee in week 13. So you got to like that. Also, Miami has the Bills in 13 and Jacksonville in 16. And basically, if you're in the AFC East, your offense is bad, but your defense gets good matchups. So I like that. Laughing at Bruce. Yeah, we all are, because Bruce with Lev Bell, Des Bryant, you're just mean. Cordero Patterson at the flex in DFS. I think that's too dicey. Although, if you play in season long and you have Sony Michel, I think Cordero Patterson is truly your handcuff. And I would get it because Sony Michel's always hurt.
Yeah, and you know what? The inactives are in. Kenyon Barner is actually ruled out, which means that the only running backs that they have on the roster are White and Michelle. So Cordero Patterson, as a GPP dart, I mean, if you're putting in like 20 lineups into a 20 max entry, then you can take that shot. But I mean, I can't really, with Michelle active, I can't really go all in on using a guy like Patterson.
True. True.
Do you want the inactives?
Yes, please. Let's go.
All right.
You're a little early. 3 minutes early. Look at you, Howard.
Inactive for the Bills, Josh Allen and Derek Anderson. That means Nathan Peterman under center. Ooh.
Matt Barkley.
Is Barkley going to play? Ugh.
It's Barkley versus McCown.
Chris Ivory and Charles Clay are both inactive as well for Buffalo. For the Jets, Robbie Anderson's out. Sam Darnold is out. They lose Rashard Robinson as a defensive back. Patriots against the Titans. Gronk is out. Barner is out. Shaq Mason's still out. Yeah, that's where the Patriots are. Taywan Taylor is out for the Titans. Tajay Sharp is in for the Titans. They don't really have Jack Conklin, their offensive tackle. He's officially out. Saints Bengals. Nobody on the Saints side that you need to worry about. Manti Te'o, if you're concerned about the Bengals there. AJ Green officially out. Vontaze Burfict, Darquez Denard, they're out. Ooh, man, that's some rough going here for Cincinnati. I took them with getting the 5.5 points. I think I might regret that now. Arizona, Kansas City. Chad Williams is out for Arizona. Kendall Wright is out for Arizona. Everybody else is the usual. Nobody of any. Sammy Watkins officially ruled out for the Kansas City Chiefs today. Skins, Bucks. Chris Thompson officially out. Jamison Crowder officially out. We knew that coming in. For the Bucks, Ronald Jones is listed as inactive here. Vinny Curry, like I said, he's out, but Gerald McCoy is back on that defensive line. Detroit against Chicago. Darius Slay officially ruled out. Bruce Ellington also ruled out. For the Bears, you said Kevin White earlier. That's about it for them. Falcons, Browns. Falcons, you still don't have Matt Bryant kicking for you. That's a bummer. Nobody in this game that you really need to worry about. Jags, Colts. AJ Bouye still out for the Jags. That's official. Nobody on the Colts side here that's going to really bother you. And yeah, that's it. Those are the early inactives. Back to you, Brandon.
Yeah, nothing too crazy town here. I think we could say that pretty effectively. What are your thoughts then on Cincinnati? Does this change any of your thoughts on them?
No, I not really, only because I still think that they've got enough weapons. I think they are smart enough to lean heavily on Joe Mixon. Okay. And I listen, I think that, again, I think they can keep pace with the Saints. I don't think the Saints are going to come in and blow them out. I haven't looked at the weather there. It's just cold, but even just the cold kind of affects Drew Brees a little bit. I think they'll lean heavily on Kamara over there as well. Again, like I said, for the Bengals, I'm all in on Joe Mixon. I'm using as a dart throw is Erickson. I'm fading Tyler Boyd. For the Saints, I'm all in on Kamara. I'm using Kamara, Thomas, and Breeze as a stack in GPP.
Yeah.
Because Cincinnati just gives up mad points.
Yeah. So here is what the weather is like around the league. 39 degrees in Chicago, 2% chance of rain, which is really nothing. There's moderate winds right now. Cincinnati, it's 41 degrees, cloudy skies, moderate winds again, very light winds actually. 38 degrees in Cleveland. Atlanta's playing there. Light winds, nothing crazy. Colts, Jags, obviously no dome. Cardinals at Chiefs, 45 degrees. Jets, Bills are at the Jets. It's 46 degrees. It feels cold though. It feels cold here. And then Washington at Tampa Bay, 82 degrees, people. Good for you, Washington and Tampa Bay. And then you got the Titans game is going to be fine. It's 51 degrees. Nothing here is bad in terms of rain or snow like that. They're playing, the Raiders at 68. It's beautiful. Packers, it'll be 34 degrees approximately at 4:25. 72 degrees, no chance of precipitation, obviously in Los Angeles. Eagles game, it'll be 38 degrees tonight. That could be cold. And then the 49ers game is beautiful at 61 degrees. So it's really just that we have now hit colder weather, but nothing is crazy town. And by the way, it's not cold enough where there's going to be like a rock hard football. They're right above freezing temperatures. We don't need to worry about that. So people that are starting to get worried about weather, I think you're trying to outsmart yourself, and I would really suggest not doing that. On Twitter, though, we got Gab, Real Slim Gabby, being like, I have a Red Bull now that I've seen Howard, and I'm drinking it. Pinkies out. Hashtag pinkies out. We could all do it, people. Got to get ready for the big, we got to go back and forth because we got a ton of questions here. So we're going to go bam, 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 because we got to get to all of them. All right. Someone dropped Dalvin Cook. Am I missing something? Dropped Dez and picked up Cook. Yes. You're not missing it.
You're not missing a thing.
Half point PPR, 1 running back, 2 wide receivers, and a flex. Okay. You might need a pencil.
What do I need for this? A flex, a running back, and 2 wideouts?
Correct. We've got Fournette, Peterson, Jeffrey, Edelman, Boyd, and Watkins. Well, Watkins is out, so we can't use him. So
right. So that answers our question right there.
One. Yeah, you just don't start one. No, right. From Fournette, so one has to sit. Fournette, Peterson, Jeffrey, Edelman, Boyd.
All right, I'm starting Fournette, Jeffrey, Edelman, and Boyd.
Yeah. And half
sitting Adrian Peterson. Yeah.
I agree. Rivers, Fitzpatrick, or Cousins rest of season. It's Cousins for me.
Cousins for me too.
All right. Non-PPR, 4-point touchdown, keep 2. Okay. I'll be 5-5 today, assuming the wheels don't fall off. Okay. So you drop 1. I would drop Fitzpatrick. I don't think he ends the season as the Tampa Bay quarterback.
Yeah. Again,
I keep Rivers and Cousins.
It's a fad. Yep. Me too.
Sorry, you guys. And also, they want everyone else to do that. Brandon Marianne. Oh, my goodness. Sorry for calling you Marianne all the dang time. So sorry. It's okay. George Kittle or Mike Davis, PPR. Wow. I love both of them.
I do, too.
They're not playing Kittle.
I know, right?
Kittle's top 5 rest of the season. I don't understand.
Yeah. I mean... Yeah, I'm gonna say I'll go Kittle here. It's a PPR format. He does see a lot of targets. The Giants struggle against the tight end. Yes, Davis is there, and I know Carson's not expected to play, but for the same token, when the Seahawks fell behind the Chargers last week, they still tried to run the ball.
Yeah.
And they didn't catch up. So now if they fall behind the Rams, they're going to change it up here, and they're going to let Wilson sling the rock, which pulls it away from Davis. So Kittle for me.
Before we speed through a bunch of these things, I want to say, you guys, you want to come play with us with Fantasy Factor this weekend. We created a $5 tournament that you can play with FA Nation with the family over here. Fantasy Factor is a 100% single entry contest. No sharks, just fun. Come play with us. Go to fantasyalarm.com/factor contest. That is fantasyalarm.com/factor contest. It's going to be super fun so we can play with you while also answering your questions. All right, here we go. No Ben. And also don't face him. Cleveland in the city, icy conditions as well for a dome team. I'm not going to worry about that. It's not icy enough. It's not gonna stay at the freezing. They're going to be playing on it. You're going to be fine. Alshon or Boyd PPR? For me, it's Alshon.
Alshon.
Half point PPR, need a wide receiver and a flex. Jalen Richard, Sony Michel, Kevin Galladay, Allen Robinson. Thank you. You're welcome, Steve. I go Michel, and I'm debating between Galladay and Richard.
You just say no to Allen Robinson completely, huh?
Why would I? He's done nothing.
Know. He has done nothing. He's been hurt.
I mean, maybe I'm alone on that. Maybe other people are into it.
I don't know. It depends. I don't think there's much difference between him and Galladay at this point. I really
Galladay's
don't.
Better.
I'd probably go Galladay in this over Jalen Richard.
Yeah, Richard just doesn't have the upside. He would need to score a touchdown and just hasn't done that. So that's the problem. He has all the usage in the world. He's like the Corey Davis of running backs. Good morning. Non-PPR, need a wide receiver 2 and a flex. We got Traquan Smith. We finally got a Traquan Smith question. Mike Williams, Corey Davis, Jay Adams. Why is my brain not working? What
Josh Adams.
Okay, thank you. Oh my gosh, thank you. Christian Kirk. I was in wide receiver land and you threw in one running back and I got scared. Okay. Right. So wide receiver 2 and a flex. Non-PPR. I think you got to go Smith here for sure.
I think Smith and Williams.
Yeah, would you go him over Kirk?
I mean, again, it's non-PPR. So yeah. I think Mike Williams ends up with, the better red zone work and the better touchdown upside, I think.
Yeah, I like that. Absolutely. Josh Adams, to me, I'm just staying away from the Philadelphia backfield in general.
Yeah.
Too weird. Half point PPR, Marlon Mack or Aaron Jones. Love both. I just think Jones is healthier. Thoughts?
I think Jones is healthier. I do like Marlon Mack. I think that he's going to be fine for today. And again, I mean, listen, the Jags actually over the last 3 weeks have had a bottom 5 run defense. Yeah, they've given up an average of 151 yards.
But they got a buy in there. You don't think they made it right?
I don't know if they got it right. Like that's the problem there. So
I respect that.
Yeah, I think
close call. I mean, they're both good plays, so I don't want to poo it.
I think I go Marlon Mack here, only because McCarthy just has that tendency to say screw the run and let me just let Aaron Rodgers throw it as much as he can.
DFS, Cup or Gordon? For me, it's Cup and Cash, Gordon and GPPs.
Yes, I agree.
Fitzmagic or Russell Wilson? I don't sit Russell Wilson after week 9. I think Russell Wilson's going to have to do something to play against the Rams. They're not going to let themselves get blown out by a divisional opponent.
No, and they played him pretty tight the last time also. So, I mean, again, Russell Wilson, if he's going to have to come back and they're going to end up down a little bit, I think that he's going to have to keep pace. So, as much as I do like Fitzpatrick against the Skins, I just think that you're better off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I agree.
Wilson.
Gronk officially out. Yep. Should I start Tariq Cohen or Calvin Ridley at my flex today? Full point PPR. I would go probably Cohen.
Yeah, me too.
They're very close.
They are close. I just don't think that we're going to see. I mean, that big breakout game that Calvin Ridley gave us. He gave us those like 2-3 games where it was like, wow, how do you not start Calvin Ridley?
Yeah. No,
and
I agree
it's
with
all
you.
kind of like fallen to the wayside a little bit. I just think Cohen gets more looks.
Should I start Leonard Fournette or Marlon Mack?
I'm going to say Marlon Mack. I'm going to go with Mack. You like Fournette?
Yeah, questions. Aaron Jones, Fournette, and Mack are all the same category for me, so I have a tough time calling it. I think Fournette has a better matchup than Mack, but Mack has really proven himself, so I don't know how you set him. Thanks to you both. Much love from Chicago. 9-1. Thanks to 3 Alarm. Reed is killing me. Thanks for the empathy. Yeah, Reed is bad, but you're 9-1, so that's good. Very hard to pick. Should I start Fournette or Mack? Oh, we got it again. So we're gonna go. They just retracted it as well. Start David Johnson today, non-PPR. Yeah, I mean, listen, if you're not going to start David Johnson today against the Chiefs, you're never going to start David Johnson. So, yeah, I mean, unless you have a better option. Sony Michel or Chubb in a half-point PPR. I would go Chubb here.
Chubb.
Just in case Sony Michel has a setback. Tom Brady or Andrew Luck today? We already said Tom Brady. Good luck in week 10, y'all. Absolutely. YouTube cleared out. Back to Facebook. Thanks, y'all. One more question, guys. I need two. Cooper Kupp, Landry, or Boyd?
You need two?
Yep. I think you go Landry and Kupp.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
I do too. This could be the all-time worst fade of my fantasy career, but I just don't understand why the Saints wouldn't like really bog down on him. I just don't get it. It would make zero sense.
And you have Landry and Kupp. It's not like we're telling you to start some scrubs. So yeah I agree. Eric Ebron or Ben Watson? Standard. I'd go Ebron.
See, I love Ben Watson today. I really do.
Okay.
I love him. He's expecting twins any day now. His 6th and 7th child. Yeah, right. And he's like super stoked about it. And you look, I mean, 3 touchdowns in his last 2 games or something like that? I mean, he's getting those looks all of a sudden. And then when you don't have, I mean, where are they going to look for it? Austin Carr coming out of the slot? Like, is that where we're looking?
No, I agree with you. I'm fine with that. I like the upside there. Chubb or Tyrell Williams for the flex and PPR. I think you go Chubb here, but I do like Tyrell Williams always for the touchdown upside. One more question, guys. I need to. Oh, we already did that one. Yes, twice. Half-point PPR, Breida or McGuire? I think you go Breida for safety here. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Good luck today. What up? Aaron Jones or Tyler Boyd in PPR? I go Aaron Jones.
Yeah, I'm kind of going Aaron Jones too. Got to be consistent.
Oh, this is my real estate manager too. What up, girl? Mariota or Mullins? I love this question.
Mariota.
I love Mullins. You heard it. Listen, Mullins is the riskier one, but they're going up against the Giants in prime time. Everyone has Mullins mania. Although he could have gotten a big head this last week, and then he totally biffs it, right? But Marcus Mariota always biffs it. So I don't know. I mean, what are we picking here? Mariota has not played well against New England.
Mariota just hasn't played well against anybody.
I'm with you. I think to me, you take a chance here, but I really hope you have other options. Burton or Njoku? I think I'm going to go Burton.
I'm going Burton.
Yeah. Hey, guys, Drake or Alshon in the flex PPR? I go Alshon, yeah. Galladay, wide receiver, or, well, yes, we know, or Sanu? I go
Galladay for me, yeah.
Jets or Bears defense? Guys.
Bears
Matt
defense.
Stafford got sacked 10 times last week, and that's all the Bears want to do, and I've demonized my life.
Seriously, do that voice one more time.
I can.
Do you read the next question in that voice?
I don't know if I can. I might try it, though, depending how bad it is. Oh, here it is, yeah. Baldwin, Ross, or Smallwood? That is terrible.
Baldwin, Ross, or Smallwood?
Yeah, the demons are talking.
I kind of feel like I would go Smallwood here. I mean, the Cowboys run defense, the Cowboys defense without Sean Lee in the middle is horrible. And Smallwood is actually the number 1 running back here for the Eagles. Yes, Josh Adams will probably see a couple of touches. Yes, Corey Clement will see some touches, but Wendell Smallwood just keeps getting the work. I mean, I could see the case for Baldwin. I really could, only because the question is could he be this bad? He usually isn't. So I think I would take the points with Smallwood. If you need the home run, how about this? If you need that home run, if you're playing from behind because of the Pittsburgh game, then go with
Baldwin for touchdowns.
Baldwin, thank you.
Agreed. Okay, so we have 2 minutes. We're gonna just bam. Martavis Bryant or Nick Vannett, tight ends with 1.5 points per PPR. Hashtag I hate bye weeks.
Vannett.
Yeah, I don't know how you can trust Martavis Bryant. He's not even on the field. Is Gronk gonna play? No. If not, is it worth dropping John Brown for Doyle in a 0.5-point PPR? Yes.
Sure.
I think you might be playing Doyle. Listen, you have to play Doyle if Gronk is out moving forward. And Gronk's on a bye week next week, too. So you're going to play him this week and next week regardless. Loving the beard, Howard. Who doesn't? Always a compliment than ask. Absolutely. Pick 2, Mac, Burton, or Kittle?
Pick 2?
Yeah. I go Mac
and Kittle.
Yeah, agreed. PPR, Eckler, Jamal Williams, Smallwood, Godwin, Uzama. Need 1. Matt choices.
Smallwood.
Okay. You'd go Smallwood over Eckler.
I was just gonna say I could go Eckler here just based on potential game flow. I'm gonna stick with Smallwood. I think they're probably about equal actually.
Okay, so he would go Smallwood. I just stay away from Philadelphia backfield because I also think Josh Adams could be involved. So I would go Eckler here. Luck or Smith? Luck, right? Smith doesn't
Luck
have
or
anyone to throw the
Alex
ball
Smith?
to.
Yeah, definitely Luck over
Well, the
Alex
thing is,
Smith.
Luck is going up against the Jags, and I understand that that's bad, but still, it's Alex Smith, and he doesn't. And to be fair, he doesn't have any options. I'm actually not going to fault Alex Smith for what's happened this year. It's unbelievable what's happened to him, and the 2 guards gone is a no-go for me. Pats or Chargers D?
Chargers.
Okay, it's close though. I do like both. Need a defense: Washington, Eagles, or Pats?
Washington, Eagles, or Pats?
I think I go Pats here.
Pats here, yeah.
Yeah. Bernard, McGuire, or Theo in the flex position, full point PPR?
Bernard, McGuire, or Theo? Yeah, I would go with McGuire.
1 point PPR, need 2. Coleman, Aaron Jones, Mack, or Sony Michel. Good for you, by the way. Good for you.
Coleman and Mack for me.
Yeah, I think I would too, although Aaron Jones is speaking to me softly in my ear. Drop Kirk or Godwin for Maurice Harris or Traquan Smith, Deshaun Jackson or Fitzgerald. Okay, I would drop Godwin for Smith this week.
Yep, 100%.
Brandon is to your left, Howard. That was back in the day, but thank you. Rivers or Goff? I would go Goff.
Yeah, I would go Goff as well. Love Jared Goff this week.
Love him. Need a flex PPR, Ito Smith or Traquan Smith? 2 Smiths.
Traquan.
Smiths for the price of 1. I agree. I'm having trouble with a flex play in 2 separate leagues. First league I have, that's a different question. Duke or Mike Davis, standard. I'd go Mike Davis.
Mike Davis.
Matt Breida or Marquez Valdez Scantling or Mike Davis, full point PPR. I think I go Mike Davis here for safety. If you need upside.
MVS if you need the upside.
Yeah, I think so. Although close with Mike Davis, even with upside. Should I pick Doyle or Hooper off waivers? Doyle. If it's PPR.
Yeah, Doyle.
Even if it's not, though. Hooper has those mad games all the time. Doyle always has something. Trubisky or Fitzpatrick PPR?
I really like Trubisky for this week. I really do, but Fitzpatrick has that passing ability. Fitzpatrick will throw for 300 yards. Trubisky won't. So I guess I would probably go Fitzpatrick here for the upside.
Yeah. John Ross or Aguilar?
John Ross or Aguilar? Ooh, I'd probably go Aguilar here.
Would you? Even though the Golden Tate is there and Ross is going to be...
Oh, yeah, you're right. I keep forgetting about Golden Tate.
And that's why I'm not playing Golden Tate, because I'm terrified.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting about him, too. I wonder if they will.
Yeah, go with the dart and just use Ross. I don't love it, but it's better than your alternatives right now.
Yeah, it's tough when people get traded to a team before the bye because then we do forget about them. We're like, oh, yeah. Boyd or Larry Fitzgerald PPR?
Well, here I think, oh, man.
Those are like tied for me. That's toughy.
Yeah, Fitz is a really nice option, especially when Leftwich is like force feeding him the work. So
Byron.
I got to go Boyd though. I have to go Boyd here. I do. I just can't trust Arizona right now. Not fully.
PPR, D-Jack or Smith?
D-Jacks.
Agreed.
D-Jacks.
We like Doyle over Njoku. We like Njoku over Reed, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay. And I think most of these. Oh, Allen Robinson or Adam Humphries. We didn't talk about him, and then we'll be done.
You know what? I'm going to go Adam Humphries here.
Killer PPR option, guys.
And Washington struggles against the slot receiver.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm going Humphries.
Yeah. And I want to be clear here, though, too. Guys, good players are good players. This week I did the Contrarian Corner video, and you guys can get Contrarian less than 5% projected ownership for Tom Brady and O.J. Howard. And the reason, you guys, sometimes there's no reason to it, okay? If you can get Contrarian with Tom Brady, one of your lineups has to have him in it. That's nuts. So, yeah. So just, guys, we're in week 10. We have a lot of data. People are who we thought they were. Don't freak out about matchups like with Zeke and stuff like that. And go out there and kill it in week 10. Do you have any other words, Howard?
No, I have no other words. Go out and kill it in week 10. Brandon's right. Much love, people. Good luck to you.
All right. Bye-bye.